Patriots have cap space. The New England Patriots still could use help at the wide receiver position. We've talked about it. It is still one of the worst positions on the roster, and even their number one is a 30-something coming off a torn ACL. And, I looked down 95 down in Washington, and there is an all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver named Terry McLaurin, who isn't happy. He basically said, I don't see how I can step on the field if we don't have contract discussions and get a new deal, although he also then said, but I really want to be here and I want to be with this team, Jaden Daniels and company. So it's easy to piece it all together. Patriots, just go get him. You have cap space. You have the need. Just go get him. And I buy into the idea. It would make great sense for the Patriots. I just don't think there's a shot in Hades that it happens. We see this every offseason. These wide receivers head towards August bitching about their contract. I'm not going to step on the field. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then what do? They often sign lucrative long-term extensions with the team that they're with. It's posturing. Washington can't be so dumb as to go to the NFC title game with a rookie quarterback and then the following summer can their number one receiver, who might be the most underrated wide receiver in football over the last 5 years. Terry McLaurin's a great dream, but a dream is all it is.
That's too bad. Thought you'd go a little more optimistic with that.
I'm a realist.
You are. I would.
Now, Mason Miller, you want to talk about Mason Miller?
Sure,
we can talk about that all day
sure.
long.
Mason Miller. Honestly, I was thinking of you during the home run derby because I was thinking of you on your phone Googling trade value for Mason Miller and Brent Rooker, 2 Red Sox. And I was wondering if you got anything back from that. Yeah.
He seems like a likable fellow.
With the monster?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Anyways, I don't know. I'm not willing to rule this one out because of the capital you have, because of the value of contracts. And I don't know. I feel like we've seen it before. The Drake Maye comp to Josh Allen, which we've kind of debated on the show a couple times. He got his wide receiver who needed a contract out of Minnesota, and Stephon Diggs. I'm sure that was probably something that took a lot of people by surprise. So I'm not saying never for the number one wide receiver coming in to help out a young quarterback.
What does that do? So if the wide receiver group right now is maybe, what would you say, if you had to rank the Patriots wide receiver group in the NFL?
29th.
Okay. You add Terry McLaurin, and that's not the craziest thing to suggest. What do you think adding Terry McLaurin would put their ranking
Off
at?
the top of my head, you're jumping to at least the top half of the league.
Like 10 spots.
Yeah.
10 spots.
I would probably go higher. I think you probably jump to like 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't run through it. And
it feels like they're one big name away from having a respectable wide receiver group.
Because
absolutely,
all of those other guys get better. Like seeing Diggs as your 2, where he can just kind of get in where he fits in, and then maybe Pop Douglas is just like, oh, this is easy. I got 2 Pro Bowlers on either side. Everything
the pressure
else
off
falls
of Kyle
into,
Williams,
yes.
absolutely.
One more stud, it just knocks everyone back a peg, and it feels better about where they're at.
They're a double-digit win team.
Yeah.
I would be picking them to win double-digit games if they got Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
You would probably be picking them to go 15-2 or something.
No. But I would be bullish on them still, for sure.
Now, the comments were – you talked about the Joe Ryan comments and how he basically sounded like he was talking about being traded to the Red Sox. The comments were different. It was very much like, I've set up my life here in Washington. I don't want to leave. But, actions are louder than words in that situation. If you're holding out and trying to get a deal, usually it works. But the main point was the comments are a little bit less, hey, trade me somewhere, than they were in other cases.
And the more $30 million contracts he sees pile up around the league, the more he's going to be like, damn it, I need to get paid. And maybe that pushes him to get a little bit more angsty.
Do you think Washington looks at bringing in Deebo Samuel as insurance? I think they have brought him in to play next to Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
To be an unstoppable. That offense will be insane.
Yeah, and that's what people are expecting. I said it earlier. I'm expecting a regression, but you went to the NFC title game with your rookie quarterback, and you've added talent. You added Laramie Tunsil. You added Deebo Samuel. Now you're going to subtract the guy who's arguably been your best franchise player for like 5 years? That makes no sense. I would, how mad you'd be if you're a Commanders fan and you're like, just when I'm buying back into you guys, we're getting a stadium, we're competing in the playoffs. You're going to get rid of the guy that I've loved for the only guy that I rooted for like 5 years. You're going to get rid of him. You're
about 2 years late to this party because the Commanders were dumb for a very long time, but they are no longer from ownership to leadership to coaching staff. They're no longer dumb enough to make this deal.
Adam Peters has kind of become one of the best young team builders in the very quickly.
Absolutely.
I know Ted Johnson's a big fan of their volume-based free agency last year.
I loved how they went about they're putting their team together last offseason. I did. Yep.
So I just don't think they're dumb enough to move on from Terry McLaurin. And it's just money. The cap keeps going up. Find a flipping way to keep your all-pro wide receiver, right? Like, just figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, the deal that Garrett Wilson just got is $32.5 per year. That's the 5th richest contract for a wide receiver. I mean, that puts him between DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown. We're probably talking somewhere in that family.
Yes.
I would say.
And please, yes, Terry McLaurin's a better wide receiver than Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also unfair to him. If I were him, I wouldn't want to leave because he had to live his career, the beginning of his career, with no quarterback, crappy quarterbacks, different quarterbacks, quarterback changes.
Balled out still.
Yeah.
And every year it's 1,000 yards. Now it's like, well, you have the chosen one. Jaden Daniels, now you can pair up for the totality of the rest of your career and have fun. So I don't think he wants to leave. He just wants to be, as Giselle once said, respected. Just show him the respect, and when they say respect, what they mean is money. Give him the damn money.
Man, the quarterbacks that McLaurin has played with, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Colt McCoy, Kyle Allen, Dwayne Haskins, Jacoby Brissett, Wentz, Keenum, Alex Smith, Marcus Mariota, Sam Howell, Taylor Heineke is the second best quarterback behind Jaden Daniels he's played with, and he still had this kind of career. That's crazy.
Crazy.
So, and for him, that's a cautionary tale. Like, even though we love Drake Maye, if I'm him, I'm like, I don't know about Drake Maye. I know Jaden Daniels is good. I played with him last year. I trust him.
Yeah.
Do I want to risk that? So he'll probably cave a little bit from whatever his high-end demand is, but they got to be smart and give him $30 million and then go try to win a Super Bowl.